Okay, we're recording.
Okay, the senility prayer. God, grant me the senility to forget the people I don't like, the good fortune to run across the ones I do, and the eyesight to tell the difference.
Love it.
I love
The eyesight thing is kind of hard. I noticed my eyesight's getting worse and worse. I don't think I want to see anymore.
it. You're just a kid.
Yeah, I am. Do me a favor and take your laptop and put it down just a little bit so I can see your face.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
There I am.
So there
Hey,
you are.
Marianne's going to join us, right?
Yeah, she is. Well, she's got 1 minute, but she's always late. So.
Oh, no kidding. You think? I tell you, I really love your book. It was so, it was, you can tell by this, I'm immensely interested in it. Yeah.
Yeah, what words can I use to express that, to know that, that the master of, I don't know, of everything, picked up my little book and liked
Bullshit.
it.
Master of bullshit.
The master of BS. Yeah, you are. That you are. But besides that, my gosh, your long walk, and to be able to chat with you about, we'll wait for Marianne, but to talk to you about forgiveness. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah. Well, I certainly
that.
don't take issue with anything that you wrote, but it was that Barbara Clark, and that in italics about the forgiveness.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of opinion.
I know. That's okay. We'll get Marianne on here because I think it's really good for her to hear this too.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, forgive.
I have to drop out in about a half hour.
Oh, that's okay. We'll give.
I want to catch the bus stop meeting in the morning. I might be able to help a drunk or two.
Exactly. That's your mission, right?
Yeah, you know that is. I've been on a tradition mission for the past 20 years. But I cannot believe, Ginger, I'm speaking. They have the We Are Not Saints conference in Chicago. I've been going there for years, and they asked me to serve on the old timers panel.
I love that.
Zoom, of course. See, that's another gift, the Zoom.
Is Zoom,
See,
especially for.
When I turned 92, I tore up my driver's license and sold my car.
Did you sell the car?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So a year before that, I told Dave and Marianne, boy, if you ever try to take my license away, you're going to have a fight on your hands.
Well, I'm kind of glad they took it, that you gave it up, because.
Oh, well, it makes the world a safer place.
Yeah, it sure does.
My reflexes aren't what they used to be. I can't turn my neck. Yeah. I just back up till I hit something, and that's far enough.
Here comes Marianne right now. She's joining in on us right now.
Okay. She called me this morning already.
Did she? There she
is.
She's
coming down this afternoon to take care of her old dad.
Yep. We're just
waiting. Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
This is so fun.
Like you do in a joint like this.
Just hanging out.
Marianne, how you doing?
I'm good.
Oh my God. This is so good. So good. So, so you were I think we're here, we're talking about forgiveness, and you.
Yeah, the blame game. It was in the chapter about the blame game, and it's about forgiveness. And my thinking is, true forgiveness is forgetting the incident completely. Because I figure if I say I forgive you, in my line of thought, I'm putting myself above you. I'm doing. I'm not above it. We're all God's little kids, and I have learned over the years. That the blame game. I held back before I got into Alcoholics Anonymous and got the little spirituality that I have. I could have a flat tire going down Edens and I blame Rosemary for it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. But since then, uh, I found through a lot of prayer, I mean, our humanness holds us back from, from true forgiveness. Like Mary Ann said to me the other day, true forgiveness is forgetting the incident completely. She says it's so hard, you can't do it. But through prayer and right thinking, it makes it irrelevant. So I don't see it's action, not words.
So here I'm going to say this for someone who might still have heavy injury on them, and so when they hear that forgiveness is forgetting, they think that maybe what you're saying is that let's put it under the carpet, and rather than forgiveness is that it's a result of forgiveness. A result of true forgiveness is that it no longer is in your mind.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's a result, not an action. You can't make it go away.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you because don't tell me, show me,
Exactly.
and that's
You
I've had so many times over the years that I really hurt. I'll get even at all that happy bullshit that we come up with. But I have my and, and she was a wild. She caused me a lot of pain. But through prayer, and I said, hey, well, what was my part in it? I went along with it. I did. I said some nasty things to her and did some nasty things to her. I put a restraint on her. I sent her to jail, and I prayed over it, and much later, I went over to her house. She was working out in the yard in Wheeling, and I made an amends to her because of things like what she did to me was totally irrelevant. But I had to do that for my own self, and that is a form of forgiveness as far as I think. I want your opinions on it. I'm a blabbermouth.
Yeah, you know what was, no, you're not a blabbermouth. You're a man of wisdom. So it comes down to, and I think that's what is said in the book, is it's forgiveness of self, because until I forgive myself for interacting with someone like that. So you allowed Penny into your life, you allowed, and you interacted. So once we get past blaming you did it, and we look at, oh, wow, I was a participant in this.
Right.
Now, the hard part is if somebody is has been abused physically, mentally, emotionally by someone, especially sexual abuse, for them to say, well, how can I be responsible in any way? And they're not responsible for the action of the other person, but they are responsible for what they took it to mean about themselves. So if I took on by my abuse that I say I'm unworthy, I'm not loved, I'm whatever I take on, then that's the part that I need to forgive. And in doing so, it's a miracle. There's no other way to explain it, that we do step away from the impact and we start to forget about it. Oh yeah, that happened to me. Wow. And so it's a result. I love that.
Yeah, and I like that. The only person I can forgive is myself. Is what you're saying. I mean, we're all God's little kids.
Yeah.
He loves that person that I hate just as much as he loves me.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's the hardest concept for people to get, is that, I always take it to the extreme and say Hitler Hitler was God's child. But he had way forgotten, and moved so far away from it. But that doesn't mean, and he destroyed many lives. And so when people hear me talk about that, they're like, how can you even say that? It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
He's one of God's little kids, just
and
like
so he came in that particular lifespan to be the most evil of evils, but he can, that was his path that time round. So
Yeah, well, look at what's going on in the world outside right now. Actually, Alcoholics Anonymous is the only safe place in the world right now because we don't have no opinion on outside issues. No matter what your political choice is, it
yeah,
matters not. They are not thinking about God or spirituality.
yeah,
The whole world is after money, property, and prestige.
absolutely. And having those safe places where you don't have to hear the what I call the great divide, because it
Yeah,
is so divided and people they only
yeah,
can see and hear what, for me, I have to forgive that, because don't bring me into the great divide.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just, I want to be over here, my little happy go lucky playground, because I don't want to
Right,
participate.
right. Yeah.
And you are blessed to be part of a sanctioned area where there's no blabber about the divide.
No,
It's only
no,
about self-realization.
yeah.
Well, it still creeps in anyway. I mean, I know about your meetings, Dad. And sometimes there are comments about social issues and so forth, but the idea
Not
is
to me,
not
no.
really allowed.
So we have one primary purpose, that's to stay sober and help
Yeah.
other people. Yeah,
Well, it's non-judgment. So even if
yeah,
somebody,
non-judgmental, yeah.
yeah, if somebody comes in and says that today what has them fighting with their sobriety is the political outlook, then that is something legitimate to bring to the table.
Right.
But it's
Yeah,
not about judging them if they're this or they're that. It's about how are you personally dealing with it. Am I right or wrong?
you're right. I mean, Alcoholics Anonymous is about altered attitudes. What I like Ginger about Alcoholics Anonymous, you can take a person that just got out of prison. He murdered his wife, he raped his sister, and robbed a bank. If he wants to quit drinking, come on in. We love you. Society will not do that.
Right. So beautiful.
Yeah.
How many years have you been?
43 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that half your lifetime yet?
Uh,
No,
Actually, Alcoholics Anonymous is not a self-help program. It's a way of life.
it is.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, you don't work the steps, you try to live the steps. Yeah.
Yeah, it never goes away. You never finish. It's like anything, any self-help, you never finish, right?
No, 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 no. There's no graduation. That's for sure.
If
God,
so, you,
I love this. It's
yeah, this
perfect.
is good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, um, have you finished the book yet?
No, I'm on the last chapter. Yeah, I just reading getting
So
going.
of all,
And I'm going to pass it on to Nancy. Yeah.
good. I hope she likes it.
Oh, I'm
What I've
sure
been
she will.
saying, what I've been like given to say is that I hope it blesses you a million times a million, you
Yeah.
know, so because it was a blessing for me. So I hope that that happens for everyone, that it touches. Get, Tell me your most favorite part. What was the most favorite part?
Well, the blame game. This chapter, I love this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because, like I said, it really the ninth promise it says our whole attitude and outlook on life will change, and that's exactly what happened in my case. But like I said before, I could be having a flat tire on Kennedy. It was Rosemary's fault.
Yep.
And now another crap that he has pulled and on his mom and stuff like that. And at one time, I thought I could never get over it, but it is becoming more and more irrelevant. God bless him. If he doesn't want to be in my life, it's his fault, not mine.
And he will find his way. We
Yeah,
all find our way, even if it's in the moment of our death, we find
right.
our way. So, that's a big owie, Everett. I'm so sorry. That's a hard one.
Well, the thing, especially Ginger with my family, I feel so loved, and he just. I wonder if him being adopted has anything to do with it. I mean, he has his own demons too.
Yeah. So those are things that we'll never ever know because they are his demons.
Yeah, right.
And but here's a good way to look at it. It may not be in your lifetime, but if you, the crazy
Yeah,
alcoholic man who
yeah, yeah.
found God, found peace, and found love, then everyone can find it.
Right. Yeah.
Anything is
4 years ago,
possible.
I was wrecking cars running down the Glenview Road with in my underwear. Marianne called me over to the
Yeah,
hospital.
I remember that night.
You remember that? You never let me forget it. But the way it should be. That was a part of my life, and I had to do that to be who I am today.
Exactly. And I believe that all of us have to go through whatever we go through, and that is Danny's story too. Now the choices, like I talk about in the book, it's about choice.
Yeah,
He will be shown in one moment in his life that he will have an epiphany if he hasn't had it already, and it will be his choice to say,
yeah,
well, he'll get many choices because it's not just once. He didn't miss it and you're out of here. But he'll get various moments in his
yeah.
life that that the choice will come.
It's like we say today, we stood at the turning point. Yeah,
Yes, the turning point, the rock bottom, whatever that is,
yeah, yeah,
you know. Um, so yeah, God bless him. I think of him often. So
yeah.
he's, we,
But I mean, at one time it was almost like incantation, and I thought, what's the matter? I have to forgive myself. I like that. I forgive myself. Yeah.
yeah, God
And
forgive
and
me.
you can only do that through prayer and meditation. I mean, people. See, the heck of it is, I had an old buddy Terry Gilo. He was a retired fireman, and I went to his funeral. He had the 24-hour book in his hand, in the casket.
Mm.
And he always used to say, we're all working under the same handicap. We're human, and God gave us that free will, and then we I have another old buddy says my character defects are attached like bungee cords. I think I'm rid of them, and then boing, there they come.
So, um, and I just used a tricky word for those, and I call them gravity codes. But
Yeah,
it is,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
Right, right. Yeah,
it's, like I said in the beginning of the book, this has been said a million times in a million different ways. And so that's it. And those will keep pulling us back in because there are tendencies there. That's the way we were programmed,
yeah,
and, but also the same thing with as forgiveness, as time goes on, those tendencies are less and less and less and less
yeah.
and less. Or
Good.
we're very aware of it. Whoop, there's that tendency again.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what, kiddo? Just the three of us sitting here talking. I think that puts a smile on God's face.
Yeah. So such a blessing.
Yeah,
Such a blessing.
yeah.
Mm.
Marianne, you're not entering into the conversation at
I
all.
don't have a chance to get a word in edgewise.
I'm going to shut up now for a while.
I find it remarkable, the similarities between AA philosophy and your book, Ginger. I think it's all saying, like you said, it's the same thing, just said in a different way.
It boils
But
down, yeah, it boils down to one word: spirituality.
right. I mean, it is basically about a higher power and how to heal yourself and how to be a better person. And it is
Yeah,
about love,
yeah,
It's about
And
love of self, period.
uh-huh.
Because we can't participate in this world in a healthy, emotionally, physically, any level without love of self. We just
Mm-hmm.
can't.
yeah. I used to have a neighbor in East Peoria. This was in the early '50s, right after I went to work for the Peoria Journal Star. We had a neighbor, Dorothy Everly was her name. And she says, God is love. I thought, what a bunch of crap that is. And, and they asked Dr. Bob at AA to describe Alcoholics Anonymous in 2 words. He said, love and service. And they asked Bill Wilson, and he said, ego deflation. So you can't beat a combination like that.
So if you are as close as the manifestation of the perfect result of a 12-step program, you're right there with Bill.
Oh, he's already got a problem with his ego, Ginger.
Right, I know.
Tone it down a little.
The only resemblance I have to Bill Wilson is he couldn't be true to his wife. He was ruled by his crotch.
Oh,
Which is another addiction.
I'll tell you, Dr. Bob was true blue. He was very, very spiritual his whole life. But that couldn't get him sober. You know, only 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. But
So
in fact, I'll tell you about Bill Wilson. They said he had such a colossal ego, but in the end, he was one of the most humble men I've ever heard of. In 1953, Ginger, the American Medical Association offered Bill the Lasker Award, which is the highest. One out of every 5 people that got the Lasker Award got a Nobel Peace Prize. And Bill said, "Don't give it to me, give it to Alcoholics Anonymous." That is humility.
Yeah, because it's
Time
not.
Magazine wanted to run his pictures of one of the 10 most famous men. Aldous Huxley said Bill Wilson was the greatest social architect of the 20th century.
I believe that, so bringing this home, when I look at your family, because I'm an outsider looking into your family.
Yeah.
You have created through your transformation a bond within your family, and it doesn't matter what's going down, who said what's where.
Yeah.
There is such a beautiful bond, and that doesn't mean that everybody's healed, and that doesn't mean that everybody's perfect and it's all love and light, but because of your stance and you're just this no love, you brought such a beautiful gift to your family. That what a legacy, Everett. That's so beautiful, because any of your family members that have sat in with you through this will pass that on to throughout generations.
Yeah. I've said many, many times, our family, we're not perfect, but we've got love, and that'll see you through anything.
Anything and everything.
Since I've been sober, my dad and mother died 37 days apart. My only nephew blew his head off with a 12-gauge shotgun. My uncle ran into Christmas Day drunk. He hit a railroad train, had his 2 little girls with him, 9/11. All 3 of them killed instantly. My wife died. My oldest son died. And I stayed sober and I stayed happy. God's running the show, not everything. But being human, I do have to remind myself of that many, many times.
Yeah, but that fortitude based on love will be passed down. That's what I talk about. When we change ourselves, we heal ourselves, we actually change the collective consciousness. You are that in the flesh, because I see it. Maybe not the members of your family might not see it, but I see it looking in, and it's such a beautiful. And your grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren, and they will all be.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that they're recording you and they're writing down, so they're getting all of your little Everett wisdoms and
tidbits.
And your tidbits and your song.
I think like pole vaulting over mouse turds.
Your silliness is actually another. Your joyful silliness has blessed your family.
I'm old. Did you say senilitous?
No, it's already happening. I mean, look at your grandchildren, how they are. I mean,
your job, I'm telling you, is awesome.
and everyone, I mean, Greg and Chris and everybody is following in your example. You know,
Yes.
you have led the way, showed them the right way to live.
The reason I'm here right now is because Greg got me on here. I didn't know.
Right.
I saw Greg's little face on the side there. I'm like, hello, Greg.
yeah. Plus, he went up to. This is the first job he's got to do for me in 2021. He had to go upstairs. I screwed up the TV. He straightened it out.
Oh God! Thank God for Greg.
Thank God.
And just like you said, so those are your grandchildren who are adults now. They are so kind and giving. I've watched every single one of them just be so gentle and so kind and so attentive. And then now it's on to the next generation, and they're another beautiful group of humans coming up, of very kind, caring, loving. Just yeah, it's your legacy is beautiful, Everett. Thank you so much. You are, and so you are forgiveness in action, because if you weren't able to experience the result of forgiveness, you would be a very embittered man sitting there, very grumpy.
Oh yeah,
And
I mean, so
sour.
many people, so many guys my age, Ginger, sitting down in Florida on the park bench, drooling down their shirts, don't know what their name or anything, and I still got those same two brain cells that I was born with. I still got.
Yeah. So yeah, you are forgiveness and love in action. And so I love that. I love knowing you. I love this very special moment. I asked Marianne.
This is great here today.
Yeah, I asked Marianne if we record, and she says, "Oh, you're setting the bar too high." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This is the highest. This is it. There's nothing better than this."
I don't know when I'm going to get to see you again, personally.
Soon. We're soon. So we're getting closer to that being able to happen. So I give you a big hug.
I tell you what, I'm not afraid of getting COVID. You know, my kids won't let me get past the mailbox. Marianne and Paula and Dave, they do everything for me. If they're not around, then Greg does. So,
You are blessed that you have them.
What a gift my family is. Yeah.
Well, this could have turned out a lot differently, Dad.
Yeah.
If you think back about that one day at the hospital. When, I mean, for one thing, it's amazing.
Did you know about that?
What?
I don't know. But it's amazing that you're still alive.
In the hospital. I was, you think I was mad at the world.
Yeah. I was in nursing school and I came home.
Yeah. You want to tell the story?
Dad doesn't remember the story, but no, that's okay.
Marianne sure did. Oh, that's what I like about Bill Wilson when he wrote his book. As Bill sees it, his wife wrote her book, Lois, right. Remember.
But my point is that was what made you get sober. And that is what turned your life around. And
that was my turning point. Yeah.
And I forgave you for that and for everything. And Mom forgave you. And that started the ball rolling to, where we are today.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Ginger, did you ever hear the last words Rosemary uttered to me?
No.
After I put her through hell,
what?
They wheeled her into the operating room for that brain tumor. If I don't make it, keep doing what you've been doing.
Oh.
That was the last word she said.
And you did.
And you did.
You did. She didn't mean go get a quart of whiskey and get drunk.
No. She didn't mean go wreck the car. No. She didn't mean run around naked. No.
And I have my own version of the serenity prayer, an emergency version, I call no matter what happens in my life, I can do one of three things: change it, get rid of it, or accept it.
So
That's
good.
all I can do with anything.
So I wrote a book. You are a book.
Son of a book.
I tried to get you to write a book, Dad, but you wouldn't do it.
Nobody can read my writing, and I don't know how to type.
Well,
Marianne's a very good scribe, I'll tell you.
dictation.
Yeah.
I'm so
Figure
happy
out
that
something.
you guys are such great buds. You know, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I feel blessed.
So we got 1 minute. I just want to tell you I love you very, very much, Everett. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a part of my life too. I love it.
Yeah. I thank God for Zoom that you get to still be in the room with the guys and girls and be with your people. I'm very, very blessed that you were here today and that we got to chat about forgiveness because
And you be sure and tell Mark that I'm still sucking air.
I will tell Mark. He's in the other room. I recorded this, so I'm going to let him watch it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I gotta get going to my other meeting.
You got to go to your other meeting. I love you very much. I love you, Mary.
Love you too.
Love you.
Take care.
Love you both. Happy New Year.
Marianne, what time you coming down?
I'm leaving soon. I'll be over in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to be at a meeting till 11:30.
I won't bother you. Don't worry.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, gals.
Bye-bye.
See ya.